And we have a go for auto sequence start. Discovery's onboard computers have primary control of all the vehicle's critical functions. Start, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery returning to the space station.
This is a journey. Welcome again to the Launchpad. I'm your host, Harry Washington, and this show is brought to you by Pursuing a Dream Corporation. Today we have a very special guest, Miss Regina Robinson of Suited for Success. Regina, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Washington.
Now, what inspired the idea, Suited for Success?
Well, when I was in high school, preparing to get ready for college in my senior year, I was a first-generation high school student going to college, and so my parents didn't really know how to help me. But when going to the guidance counselors, they were overwhelmed. There was a lot of us students graduating at the same time, and so I had to reach out and figure out the process on my own. So it was very difficult for us to figure it out. Years later, as a high school educator, I found other students were going through the same thing. And this is over a decade later. So I started helping kids and helping them find a direction of how they can go about getting prepared for the college process.
Now, how long has Suited for Success been in existence, and what's been the inspiration for your success? Well, the formula for your success, rather?
Well, we've been in business for 4 years. Prior to that, for 10 years, I've been helping students. Parents had pushed me and students had pushed me to say, you have to tell other people, you have to make this known. I was just helping the kids that were in my classes only until more of those students kept saying, well, someone else asked me who helped me, and can I tell them that you helped me? And I said, oh, no, just you.
Okay.
And then that's how Suited for Success actually got started.
Now, what service does your organization provide?
We do college tours throughout the year.
Okay.
We visit HBCUs as well as colleges and universities from all on the East Coast. We also do summer boot camps where we work with Verizon seniors to prepare for the college process ahead of time.
Okay.
So as you say that, this year we're actually working with 26 Verizon seniors from PG County and DC, where they will be actually starting on the college process ahead of time.
Now, Regina, describe to our viewers what type of students benefit from your services. What kind of students can parents expect? I mean, you know, what students do you serve, and what ages, what schools?
High school students, all ethnicities,
Okay.
and from all high schools all around. I work with students from all around the Washington metropolitan area.
Okay. Now, you stated earlier that you've been a teacher. How long were you a teacher?
I was a teacher for 10 years,
Okay.
and then I stopped teaching and started working and just doing Suited for Success alone.
Right, and you were also the Teacher of the Year in 2008.
Yes, yes, I was Teacher of the Year in 2008 as a NIFTY teacher, which is National Foundation for Teaching Entrepreneurship.
Now, I've seen you in action. We both were at the Oxon Hill Middle Career Day. And you talked a lot about helping students transition, and you were very motivated, very enthusiastic about it. How do you actually help students make that transition from grade to grade?
Students have to understand that colleges are going to start looking at you from young, and most people think that college preparation starts only in high school, but we should be starting our children as early as elementary school. We need to create a culture of college awareness in our homes. That way, if it's not heavily in the schools, we know they're getting it at home. So from transitioning from one grade to the next, students have to know what's expected. What are they going into? When they go from 8th grade to 9th grade, it is a totally different environment, as well as the type of coursework that they're going to have to prepare for. And not only that, in 8th grade, students don't really take GPA as serious, whereas for college, they start looking as early as 9th grade.
Exactly. Now, what problems do you encounter?
You know, you have some students who are really motivated, and then you have some that are not as motivated. So my goal is to get those ones that are not as motivated. And the way to motivate them is to let them know, if college is a dream for you, then it can be a reality. You just have to put in the work and make sure you do your part.
Okay. Now, what can parents expect from enrolling their students in your program?
With my program, we work with the students from beginning until end. So we make sure we go through the whole process with them, making sure they're picking the right colleges that fit their academic requirements, as well as fit what they're looking for, if they're looking for sports, or if they're looking for extracurricular activities, or if they're looking to stay close to home or far. We make sure we consider all those things when helping them profile what schools are best for them. And then we help them go through the process of actually applying to all those schools. And the good thing about it is, with us, they become more like my own children. I work with them literally from beginning to end, and I'm there to watch them walk across that stage and enjoy and benefit a part of their success as well.
Excellent. I guess my last question to you is, what's been your success rate?
Every student that I've worked with have been able to opportunity to go to a 4-year college or university if that was their choice. I don't discourage kids from considering community college first if that's what best fits them as well, or military or trade schools.
Excellent. Regina, any last comments that you have for our viewers?
Just to encourage students that success is only what you make it. If you're looking to become the best student that you can, you have to do your part. Parents can't do it for you, nor an outside person can do it for you. It's totally up to you. You have to be motivated to succeed and go above and beyond. And most importantly, students, they determine their dreams.
Excellent, excellent. That was our guest today, Ms. Regina Robson of Suited for Success. Make sure you go visit her website. Her information is listed at the end of the program. Give her a call because I'm sure she'll be delighted to help your student.
Yes.
We'll be back. Thank you. Welcome back. I'm your host again, Harry Washington, and you're with the Launchpad. You know, remember, the Launchpad always brings you a lot of guests that have resources, or even they talk about events in the community. And today, we're joined by Mr. Richard C. Jones of Let's Go Up in the 21st Century.
To the 21st
I'm sorry, to the 21st century, everyone. Mr. Jones, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, how long has Let's Go Up been in existence?
We started our program in 1995, so it's been about 17 years.
Okay, and what programs or initiatives has your organization established?
Initially, we started out with a summer camp program, which we, until today, still have in existence.
Okay.
We also have what we call weekend retreats.
Okay.
We do career days. Actually, I've been in probably a couple hundred schools over the last 18 years in Prince George's County, Washington, D.C., and also the Baltimore area. Okay. We also have, I guess, probably visits to the facilities, aviation-type facilities. So those are the type of programs we have in existence.
Now, your background is aviation. Did that inspire you to create this organization?
Actually, it was. I went in the military when I was 18. I became an air traffic controller, and actually, when I went into the military, I had no clue what I wanted to do with my life. Okay. And when I was told I was going to be an air traffic controller, I thought it was the guy on the runway with the flags. Okay. And that's how much I knew about it. And after 4 years in the United States Air Force, I spent 29 years with the FAA as an air traffic controller, supervisor, instructor, trainer. Excellent. And before I retired, I ran a program that coordinated enhancement training for 15,000 air traffic controllers. Wow. So the inspiration was I came from the inner city in D.C. To a point in time when I was able to retire at 50. I worked for Lockheed and I worked for Northrop as a result of that training. So I knew if I could do it, then young people other than myself could do it. So that was my inspiration.
Excellent. Now tell the viewers, who benefits from your program? What students do you work with?
We work with students from all walks of life. Our motto is a kid at risk can come from any economic background. Okay. I work with kids from buried farms in D.C. I work with kids from outer limits of Prince George's County. I've had kids come from Baltimore, Philadelphia. We've also had kids that live in $1 million homes. Okay. We want the kids, though, that are basically motivated to learn. Okay. And we start them out at 8 years old because of that, because we think we can tailor their minds to what we want them to learn, and that's aviation.
Okay. And what exactly do you teach kids as it relates to aviation?
Anything from starting up. The product can be, if you want to start off at the airport working as a baggage handler, you can learn that because we talk about airport services. Okay. If you want to learn how to fly an airplane, we start them off at 8 years old, flying a computer at 8 years old. Because of the partnership I have with the Tuskegee Airmen at 15 and a half, those kids that want to fly, Tuskegee Airmen in my organization will pay for their flying lessons. Excellent. Which leads to some of our youth who've gone on to college and become aeronautical engineers, pilots. My expertise is air traffic control, of course. That is primary for me, mainly because the jobs are available. You don't have to have you don't have to have a college degree. You can have a high school degree, and you're making $150,000, $200,000 as a result of that. So those are some of the careers.
Now, you currently have, because you said you started from a summer program, so you currently have a summer program working right now.
Yes.
Where's that program in?
Actually, it's located in Prince George's County. We have the program that, actually it's at Tucker Road Recreational Center, Fort Washington, Maryland. Okay. We have 52 students, and for the last 6 years, we have had that camp filled all of the slots within a couple months. Initially, when we started the program, I'd say I myself and about 30 other volunteers and my wife, we used to physically take 200 kids to a 3-day retreat to run the summer camp.
Okay.
I got old and tired, so now for the last 5 or 6 years we run the program out of the Department of Recreation Center, Prince George's County.
Okay, and now what ages, because I know we talked about the dynamics of students, but what ages do you start?
Our ages start at 8 years old, and we find out it's very important, especially if we want to talk about math and science to young people at that age. Start them out young. You get them interested in something that they want to do, and they will learn all the math and sciences that you want. And that's the way it was with myself. I felt like, oh gosh, air traffic control is nothing but geometry, spatial relations, abstract reasoning. The same thing for flying, the same thing for aeronautical engineering. And the key is, again, to get them at a very early age. So 8 through 17, and we work them up to the point where they want to go on to college, they can go on to college, or if they want to go and take a career in the aviation industry, be it mechanics or air traffic control or flying, they're able to do. They have those options.
Now, because you talked about math being a big integral part of aviation, what if you find that kid who just doesn't really like math?
Well,
which is not uncommon.
To tell the truth, I didn't like math. I went to, in the 50s, I went to a school, McKinley High School, McKinley Tech, which is a very reputable school, and it was even more reputable then. And to tell the truth, I tell my kids, I didn't like geometry. I didn't like abstract reasoning of any physics. I hated all that stuff. But I found out when I went into the Air Force after I took the test, and then they came in and said, you're going to be an air traffic controller. I found out after I found out what it was, and it was air traffic control. It's geometry, it's angles, it's speed, it's math, you know, it's abstract reasoning, 3-dimension, all those things that I thought I hated so much, turned out to be the perfect thing for me, and that's why I was able to have a career as successful as I did.
So there is a passion in things that you might not like.
Absolutely.
Now, Richard, what can parents expect from your program? Once they enroll, what things can they expect?
First of all, they can expect a young person, no matter what he or she might end up doing, aviation or not aviation, someone that will be able to stand up, talk in a group, because we have group sessions before we even get the kids started. That kid that comes in our program will have a sense of self-esteem. Initially, we used to teach, I guess, probably drug awareness, teen pregnancy, and things like that in our summer camp programs. We don't have that as a prerequisite right now. But more than anything, he or she, the parent, can get a polished individual, someone who will want to go out and try something different. And it doesn't have to be, again, a success in aviation. It can be the idea that they are looking for something different. The end product, though, when all said and done, if he or she wants to go into any of the aviation pursuits, we have someone that's polished at the age of 16, 17 years old that's able to do that.
Excellent. Now, what final words do you want to give our viewers about your program or even yourself?
I guess probably my program, I am very disappointed, having run this program for 17 years, that in this area we have not found a way to get it into the school system. It should be in the school system. And I don't want to get into the politics of having to deal with Prince George's County. But the point is, here is a career field. Unfortunately, most minorities, parents included, don't have a clue about air traffic control. You know, it's a very lucrative career field. Most of our kids have the capacity to do it. It's a pressure job, but life is pressure. Most of our kids have pressure that they deal with each and every day, so they respond quite well, All you need to do, as far as I'm concerned, is to get them started at an early age, and that's why I say it should be in the school system from kindergarten on up to 12th grade, because it lends itself to so many different options. There are over 100 career fields that you can go into in aviation, and they're all very lucrative.
And it's very interesting, because I know we're coming to the end of our segment. You know, our organization, Pursuing a Dream Corporation, also does the same thing about inspiring students. And particularly, we did a spotlight in aviation, and you're right. I saw an abundance of careers in aviation from like you said, from either a high school diploma, entry level, to the highest level.
Absolutely.
So, but definitely thank you for having you. Well, thank you for having you on the show, rather. That's our guest again, Mr. Richard C. Jones. We'll be back. Welcome back. And I'm your host, Harry Washington, and you're here on the Launchpad. And today we're literally hanging with Mr. Cooper, Mr. Gerard Cooper of IT Computer Whiz Kids. Mr. Cooper, welcome to the show.
Thank you. How are you?
Thank you. Now, what's the mission of IT Computer Whiz Kids?
To inspire kids in a fun learning environment and teaching them technology so they can pursue careers in IT.
And how long has IT Computer Whiz Kids been in existence?
3.5 years.
Okay. Now, tell the audience, what inspired you to enter the field of IT?
I was an actor, a dancer, and went to New York, doing a great job, started getting auditions, commercials, but in between jobs, I needed money. And all of my friends were starving actors and working in restaurants, but I knew technology, I could make good money. So I started working for investment banking firms and doing acting on the side, and ended up getting into technology full time.
Okay. Now, but also that inspiration inspired your company.
Yes, yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, during the recession, I got laid off from my job, like a lot of people did, and I just knew that there was something else that I wanted to do. My son, both of my sons, one of them wasn't doing so well in school. And I knew that they loved technology and computers. So I started working with them, and we worked with other nonprofits, teaching, and we'd have computer building competitions. And so I said, you know what, I think I could do something worthwhile where kids could get inspired by IT and building computers and get careers in IT.
And now, was your son your only passion for wanting to teach? Because you do a great job at it.
That was a big passion, but I also started looking in communities and seeing that our kids weren't getting the training they needed. That when they get to a point where they didn't know what they wanted to do in life, and I'd ask them, I said, what do you want to be? Well, I don't know. Well, do you like computers? Yeah, I like computers. I like playing games. So I said, why don't we take that passion, that love for computers, and turn it into something where they could actually make money.
And now, how does your program operate and who benefits? What students do you serve?
Well,
what communities do you serve?
Well, right now we have 2 programs in Anacostia, Howard Road Academy, and also Thurgood Marshall Academy. And what we do is we set up after-school programs where the children learn on one day, and then the next day they actually work on a help desk. And our goal is to have help desks at each school so that parents, staff can bring their computers in, have them repaired. Meanwhile, they're working with our professionals who are mentors, and they get a chance to work with the kids. So now you have adults, you have kids who are both in love with IT and working with computers, and they're also getting a skill where they're repairing computers and fixing them.
Now, what ages do you serve?
We start from middle school, which is about 12 or 11, up to adults. And we also have an adult class that we teach called Cheat the Geeks. Yeah, that class is pretty cool. We actually show adults and parents how they can fix their own computers. And they bring their computers in, and we teach you how to back up, how to get rid of spyware, all the things that you would pay someone else to do.
Excellent. Now, how do you take that kid who's so IT savvy with texting and actually transcend that into what you're teaching about troubleshooting?
Well, the first thing we do is we pull them in with the gaming. We have this gaming PC here, and kids love gaming. And you need a powerful computer. So as you see right here, we have a video graphics card, so they're able to get HDMI, DVI, and we show them how to build this computer. And the name of this class is called You Build It, You Keep It. And literally, you're building the computer, and then at the end of the class, it's an 8-week class, you take the computer home. They learn how to install the operating system, they learn how to insert the processor, RAM, hard drive, and then they install the operating system.
So now, what advice would you give listeners who are interested in the IT field?
I think the biggest advice is make use of contacts. If you know people who are in the IT field, DC, we have so many government agencies. You've got cousins, friends who are in the IT field. Then, once you figure out your goal, study. Get that A+ certification. Start looking in the book. If you have to go to the library and get this thick book called A+ certification, then get it. Open it up, start reading it, and then hands-on. Volunteer. Get those community service hours. We offer community service hours for hands-on experience.
Excellent.
Kids need 30 hours to graduate. Then do it in the field that you enjoy, which is IT or computers. So you're getting hands-on experience, and once you go from there, have that goal and decide this is what I want to do, and just keep pursuing it.
Excellent. And you heard it straight from Mr. Cooper. We'll be back. Thank you. Welcome back to the Launchpad. I'm your host, Harry Washington, and today we're joined by somebody that you may know or you may not know, Mr. Thurman Jones with Patriots Technology Training Center. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good to be here.
Now, how long has Patriots Technology Training Center been in existence?
Well, since 1997, we started our nonprofit organization. And our ultimate goal was to get more students involved with technology. At that time, STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, wasn't in existence. But as we moved down the road for the last 15 years, STEM is very important to the community, but also the world, because we need more students in science, technology, engineering, math.
Right, very much so. Now, what's the organization's mission, and what students benefit from your services?
Well, 5th grade to 12th grade is our primary market. And we know that after the bell ring at 3 o'clock, where do students go to venture into their different careers? They want to be engineers, they want to be scientists, they want to be doctors. But after the bell ring, where do they go? And that's what the Patriots Technology Training Center is about, finding those resources for the student after the bell ring.
Now, what's been your success in keeping your name out there? Because I don't think there's anybody alive in this area who hasn't heard of Patriots.
Right. Well, the social media is very, very popular these days, and thank God for the internet and concerned parents, teachers, principal, and as well as Dr. Height, our superintendent of schools for Prince George's County. He's been very supportive of our program. And so I think the fact that everyone knows that they want their son or daughter to do well in school, but they're going to find that career goal. How do they get there? What's the roadmap? And that's what we provide, that roadmap, how to get to those different careers.
And now, give us on that, because I know you've mentioned a lot of things, but give viewers an idea, what kind of students in particular do you work with? What kind of students what kind of students the parents can expect if they participate in your program?
Well, number one, most of the students have an interest in STEM, science and engineering, math, and some of them don't know what it is, so they come on and join us. And one of the best things about our organization is why we stay afloat, because we about 70% volunteer. Mom, dad, corporate America, government, and colleges know that we all need to pitch in and work together to get these students involved with STEM. And if you don't mind sharing some of our programs, one of the things that we learned in the 15 years is that students don't want you to talk to them all day. It get boring how many houses you at, what college you went to, who you know. What students want to do, they want to fix, break, or develop something, or compete against one another. It's good that you're going to tell me about, but let me get my hands involved so I can actually learn how to do it. And that's what we found to be the biggest success in our organization, let them fix, break, or develop something. But also they love to compete. We love to compete. And so that's one of the big things. And another thing that I found, like you asked me about students, you might have an A student, a B student, a C student. What we try to do in our competition, I want to go over that in a minute, that we try to put them in teams. And you may have a C, an E, a D, maybe the C and E student may bring their grades up, because then they see the opportunity, because they had an opportunity to see these different careers in action. So you don't mind, I'd like to walk you through some of these things, if you don't mind.
So students, to get an idea, students get motivated by being in groups and being involved with other students. And here's some of the initiatives here.
One of our biggest initiatives is NSBE, National Society of Black Engineers, one of the largest organizations that work with students to get them involved with engineering. And the beautiful thing about NSBE is the fact that they have a summer camp, a fall, and they have a national. All three of these camps, conferences, they have different competition from the students. We're on the East Coast, and we have the largest NSBE chapter in the country with over 500 members. And so that's what I like about NSBE, because we come together and the students get a chance to be exposed to these type of careers. So, that's one of the biggest supporters that we have as far as NSBE. Now, what we try to do is we try to have a middle school and then a high school program. One of our programs is the Lego competition for 8 to 14. Okay. And we've been working with Lockheed Martin and NAVC and the Navy, and also U.S. First. And what happened is we teach the student how to design and build Lego, but also program. Then we go to U.S. First in Baltimore, and you get a chance to compete at the National Council for U.S. First Lego competition. Okay. And for the last 2 years, we've been working with Bowie State University, and we have another competition down in Bowie. Okay. Because the students like to compete. We hate to have one competition, then you go home. But this is like a 6-month program for the Lego for the students. Okay. Okay, great.
Excellent.
Then we have the solar system competition. And what we try to do, all these competitions that we have, we try to, they're industry driven. Mm-hmm. So we work with NASA. The first year we had 8 middle schools. They did a research paper, a brochure, a poster board, and then they gave an oral presentation on a solar system mission. Okay. And then we had judges from NASA and from the industry, and then a research paper. Then the top team got a free trip to Space Camp in Huntsville, Alabama. So we was very fortunate to get a lot of sponsors for that program, as well as NASA as a big sponsor.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
The next one is a computer competition. Okay. And a lot of students get excited about that because 4 weeks before our youth summit, we teach students how to build computers. Okay. And the winning team, out of the 4, win a laptop computer at our youth summit. This year's youth summit was at Bowie State University, and we're going to talk more about that. But 4 weeks prior to the youth summit, we teach the students how to build computers. Okay. So that's the computer competition. Okay. Then the biomedical competition, you know, everybody wants to be a doctor. Right. So how do you be a doctor after the bell ring at 3 o'clock? Well, you come to Patriots. And basically what we did, we partnered with NIH, Providence Hospital, the Navy, some local doctors in the area. And basically we had 8 high school team, and this year what they did a research project on one of the institute at NIH, National Institute of Health. You know, they got like 27 institutes, whether it's cancer, diabetes, for your vision, you know. So what we're trying to do is do the research, what you need to do to work in these different institutes. Gotcha. And once again, you do a research paper, brochure, poster board, and give an oral presentation. And last year, the Library of Medicine hosted it at NIH. Excellent. Excellent. So that's what we do with the biomedical competition.
No problem. No problem.
Then the cybersecurity competition, one of the high issues that we've been working with. So what the students do, they pick the career as far as cybersecurity. Okay. And then there was 8 middle schools, and same concept. You know, do the research, the brochure, and then we had an oral presentation at Marriott Hotel. So that's the cybersecurity, and so that's one of our biggest programs. Lockheed, Raytheon, University of Maryland, and so those are some of our sponsors that we have for that. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm gonna be finishing it. Now the robotic team is exciting because this is our high school team, from Lego to robotics, and basically we have six weeks to build the robot. Then we go to Baltimore and compete. You have to spend the night for 3 nights. Okay. And so, you know, the students love that because they get a chance to get away from mom and dad. And BA System, the NAVC, Booz Allen and Hamilton have been our sponsors. $6,000 just to get in the competition. So we're always looking for sponsors, and we appreciate any support that any organization or parent can come and volunteer as well. So it's a good opportunity to get scholarship and look for internships and mentors at NSBE. Okay. Okay. Okay, the Science Bowl competition is basically with the Department of Energy, and we partner with Lockheed Martin. Okay. And basically there's 22 teams, and like a Jeopardy style, they ask different questions about science for middle school. Okay. And then the student also built a solar system car, and then they had to race it. So you get so many points for the Jeopardy game, and you all get so many points for your racing your car. Okay. And that's with the Department of Energy. Okay, okay. Mm-hmm. So we always try to get a government and industry partner because we think they need to work together because, you know, industry get a lot of contract from government. Okay. Our flight simulation, the aerospace, and we work with Air Force. Air Force has been very supportive of it. Okay. Booz Allen and Hamilton. We built 5 simulators, and then we had a contest. Of course, you had to do the research paper, but also we used the Microsoft Flight Simulator, and they taught the student how to fly, and you get so many points for that. Okay. So that's been very popular too as well. And also the Air Force Academy has been very supportive, and NASA, in helping us do the flight simulation. Okay. Okay. Video gaming conference. Everybody has a video game. I love video game. And basically every year, like this year, December the 8th will be our video gaming conference. We're having it at Prince George's Community College. And basically what we do is set up different computer stations. You get a chance to test games, play games, and also design games at our video gaming conference. We have about 200 folks to come out and support that. And this year is going to be at Prince George's Community College on December the 8th.
Right, okay. And now, how soon can students begin registering for this?
You can probably register July 5th. That's when everything will go live on our website.
Okay.
To get started.
All right, no problem.
And one thing I failed to mention too, you can just put that down.
Okay, no problem.
We have a summer camp going on right now. We have a 5-week summer camp on technology. Okay. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that later. But we also have an annual youth summit where we draw about 500 people to come to our youth summit this year. Right. And I was very pleased to have you to come there and video and get some interviews from my students at Bowie State University. Right. So we appreciate you coming out and supporting us.
Anytime.
And so this is an opportunity where we bring all our sponsors and partners together to do workshops, set up exhibit, and talk about their programs. And then the student get a chance to go to different workshops and basically just to whet your appetite to see what type of technology career you may want to have. Okay. And so this is one of our signature programs.
Okay, cool.
And then we also partner with Raytheon, and this is, in being an engineer, you need to have math skills. And this is called Math Moves You, where Raytheon hosts this event, and we play Jeopardy, and then they have different stations where you come up and you play different games as far as questions on math, because they know that you got to have good math skills to be an engineer. But we're very supportive with Raytheon as well, and they're on our board as well. Okay. So that's a nice program as well. Cool. The key is to find partnership, and that's the key with our organization, because we're about 70% on volunteer. Excellent. Now, the C-Purge competition with NAVC, the Navy, BA system, and also the Navy Academy, where we teach the students how to build this underwater robot, and then we go test it at the Navy Academy. Then the Navy Academy gives us a tour of the academy. So far, we had one person that have got accepted at the Navy Academy. We got a lot of students interested, so we're trying to put their roadmap so they can prepare to be accepted to go to the Navy Academy. And the only thing you have to do, in some instances, you go to your elected official, your senator, your congressperson, and see can they endorse you to go to the academy. But you can also apply at the Navy Academy, too. Okay. All right. Then the last one, you can't do this without a partner. Don't just say in a marriage, right? And one of our biggest partners is the parent. We have a parent committee, like a PTA. Okay. Well, we have a lot of parents that are in the industry, a lot of parents interested in supporting the program because their son and daughter are in the program. But like anything else, we see them flock the stadium. We see them flock the stadium when they play basketball and football. So we're trying to change it around and get them to come flock when we have our different competitions. So I want to thank all our parents for being supportive for the last 15 years. So that sort of gives you a sum up of our program. But one of the things I failed to mention is our summer camp. You put that down. Okay, no problem. Our summer camp on technology, and Prince George Community College is hosting our summer camp. It's a 5-week summer camp. Okay. And then each week we do something different. We do Lego, we do cybersecurity, we do video games, we do renewable energy. And so those are some of the programs that we're trying to whet the student appetite to see what their career goal is. We're really trying to make sure they understand the different types of career for STEM. Okay. And we also go on different field trips. We go to NASA, we go to the Capitol, we go to Microsoft, and so those are some of the field trips that we go as well. Andrews Air Force Base, So we're trying to whet all the student appetite to see which way they may have an interest, in getting involved with STEM. So. And how early can parents still register for the summer program? Yes, we have maybe room for about 5 more folks. 5. This is our first week, so we got 4 more weeks to go. And so by all means, we have room for about 5 more. We have like 45 students. Okay. The bus only holds 56, so we need chaperones when we go on the field trip. So we have room for 5 more students. Okay. Now, ultimately, looking at all of these initiatives, what is the perfect package? What can parents expect from students participating in your programs? Okay. Well, number one, by being a member, we always try to find a mentor for students. Okay. We try to put them with students that are interested in the career and on their way to college. Okay. And so that gives you some support your son or daughter get support, because you got folks that are thinking alike and they want to go to college. And then we got corporation, government, parents like yourself, they're interested in coming in and volunteering and showing you that roadmap.
Okay.
Because once again, after the bell ring at 3 o'clock, where can you go?
Okay.
And that's what we think that we bring to the table. We bring corporate, government, colleges, mentors, programs. So now your son or daughter is thinking about, oh, I like this. This is cool. It's more than just going to school, studying, taking a test, getting an A. But now we get a chance to do some hands-on type of stuff. Now I understand the math that I take. I understand why I need to read. I understand how I need to make sure I read newspaper, read books, so I get a better understanding why I need to be a good student and get good grades when I go to college.
Now, Thurman, what advice would you give to that parent who's still on the fence and says, well, I'm not sure if Patriots is for my child?
Right. Well, I always say it's not for everyone, but I suggest you find a good program that will motivate your son or daughter. Because by the time they get in 12th grade, you don't want them to be in your house, right? You want them to go to college, look at a military career, which has some great opportunity, the Navy, the Army, the Air Force. All of them have good. But a lot of times parents say, I'm afraid of the war. Well, you know, pick what career you want to go into. You'd be surprised what benefit that the military have, or go to college. But what you want your son or daughter to think about, when I get to 12th grade, I know where I'm going. I know I'm going to trade school, I'm going to college, I'm going to the armed service. You know, we need to make sure they know where they need to go once they get in 12th grade.
Okay. And have you ever come across the difficult child, and if so, what do you do?
Say it again?
Now, have you ever come across that difficult child? Because you have many students that come through your program.
Right.
But how do you motivate that difficult child?
Oh, I got Mr. Nicholson on my team. Mr. Nicholson at AYO. He's a good motivator. He's the type of guy to say, we're going to pull you out to the side, but eventually we're going to put you back into the mix and stuff. And that's how he operates. He pulls the student to the side saying, let's put a roadmap together. Let's put this in writing, why you should do this, and what's the benefits. And I want you to put it down on paper, and I'm going to put it on the paper, then we're going to talk again.
Now, what comments do you want to leave our viewers with?
Well, like any organization, please take a look at it. I think we do a good job. We've been around for 15 years, but there's other programs as well. And so take a look at all the programs. Just make sure that your son or daughter has a roadmap where they want to go. Because by the time you get in 12th grade, you want to make sure you've been very supportive of your son or daughter, and they know what the next step after 12th grade. So, you know, I like to leave that with the parents and your audience.
Gotcha.
Okay.
We'd like to thank Mr. Jones and all of our guests today. To learn further about them, learn more about them rather, view our credits at the end of the show. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, viewers. That's our show for today.